Chag Sameach, everyone. I hope you're enjoying this beautiful Yom Tov of Sukkot. I'd like to share with you an idea that I think you will find meaningful. The holiday of Sukkot comes literally 4 days after Yom Kippur. We go from the most serious day of the year to the happiest day of the year in 4 days. Sukkot is called a holiday of simcha, a holiday of happiness. 3 different times the Torah refers to Sukkot as a holiday of happiness. And the question is, what is the correlation between Sukkot, sitting outside in this hut, and happiness? What is the connection between the two? And why is it so important for us to go right after Yom Kippur into a holiday of simcha, a holiday of happiness? And the entire Sukkot, both the first days of Sukkot and the last days of Sukkot, is all referred to, in the prayers we refer to it as Chag Simchatenu, a holiday of our joy. So before Yom Kippur, I spoke about different types of growth and changes that a person can make in our life. I spoke about slow and steady incremental growth towards a goal. And I also spoke about macro growth, where a person makes a major change, and that major change allows for so many other things to happen without even thinking about it. But the question becomes, how do we sustain this growth? How do we sustain these changes? And I believe what the Torah is teaching us with the holiday of Sukkot is the answer to that. Firstly, the holiday of Sukkot is a holiday that we do. It's the mitzvah of Sukkot is a mitzvah we do with our entire body, unique to the holiday of Sukkot. We enter the sukkah with our entire body. And I think the message is that if we want to make changes in our life, we have to be willing to take action. We go on Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur from a thought, from a desire, from a prayer, from a place that I want to change. But ultimately, real change happens when we take action. If I want to become a kinder person, I need to do acts of kindness. If I want to become a different person, I have to take action. When the Jewish people said, Na'aseh v'nishma, the Sfas Emes so beautifully explains, Na'aseh v'nishma means I will take action, v'nishma, and then it will become part of me. And I think this is part of the message of Sukkot, coming right after Yom Kippur. But I'd like to also share with you an idea about simcha, about this thing called joy, happiness. Simcha is something, happiness is something that our society seems to be desiring and craving more than ever before, and yet it seems to be further away from us than ever before. There's more depression and more problems and more anxiety and all different issues that our society faces today than maybe ever before. And I think in the holiday of Sukkot is the secret to what true simcha, what true joy is about. The Torah tells us in Parshas Ki Savo that why did all the curses and bad things happen to the Jewish people? Because you didn't serve Hashem with simcha and a full heart when things were good. David HaMelech says in Tehillim, Ivdu et Hashem b'simcha, serve God with joy. Come before Him, ba'u lefanav birnana, come before Him with even a higher level of joy. Maimonides in Hilchot Sukkot talks about the Simchas Beit HaShueva. He talks about the dancing that took place in the Beit HaMikdash on Sukkot, and he connects it to the pasuk V'samachta b'fnei Hashem Elokecha shevat yamim, that you should rejoice before God for 7 days. And over there, Maimonides says it's a great thing to be able to celebrate, to be b'simcha with the doing of mitzvot. And the greatest sages were the ones who were able to be the most happy, and everybody else would watch them. And then Maimonides, in the last chapter of Hilchos Lulav, after he talks about all of this, he says, it's a great service to serve Hashem with simcha, to serve God with joy. And it's such an important part of who we are. And then the question though becomes, how do we serve Hashem with joy? What does it mean to serve Hashem with joy? And I think the answer is that joy comes from, first and foremost, it comes from being present. It comes from a true sense of connection. I think the reason why today we're less joyful than maybe ever before is because we're less connected than ever before. We're constantly thinking about what we're going to do tomorrow, what the future is going to be. We put our happiness away from ourselves. We say, I'll be happy when I hit this plateau, when I hit this point of financial success, when my kids grow up, when this happens, when that happens, when something else happens. But ultimately that means that we're not truly connected to our true sense of purpose and our true mission in life. And I think that what Sukkot teaches us is Hashem says to us, come out of your house, right? Sukkot is the harvest festival. It's the time when a person will be most likely to think, oh, I've harvested my crops, I have a bumper crop this year, things are good. Hashem, I don't really need you right now so much. What does Hashem say to us? If you're going to tie your happiness to how many crops you have, or how much money you have in the bank, or some physical thing, you're constantly going to feel that anxiety of, what if it's taken away from me? What if I don't have it? Hashem says, come out of your house, come into my sukkah, come under my protection. And in that place, you will find the true sense of happiness. Because what is true happiness? True happiness is realizing that your value doesn't come from something outside of you, but your value comes from within. Your value comes from your literally unlimited potential that Hashem put inside of you. And when we sit in that sukkah and we realize that all of us, all of Klal Yisrael, are sitting under this canopy, are sitting under the Anani HaKavod, God's protection, that God protected us in the desert and continues to protect us now. When we realize that, when we realize how valuable we are, that we deserve God's protection, and we realize how valuable we are as a person and the tremendous potential that we have, it gives us a tremendous sense of joy. Because true joy is connection. This is true in our relationships with each other, and it's true in our relationship with Hashem, with God. The Orchas Tzadikim, the famous Musar commentary of 1,000 years ago, says that if you do a mitzvah with joy, you're 1,000 times more connected to Hashem than if you do it as a burden. And we know this is true in our relationships as well. People ask me, Rabbi, how can I be happy? I'm not in the mood. I don't feel it. They'll ask me that in relationships. They'll ask me that in the relationship with Hashem. And I think the answer in both of those situations is to internalize and really think about what is our purpose, what is our mission, what is our value, what is our connection. And if I can really internalize that sense of connection, and I really look into myself and I feel the connection to Hashem, or in the case with our spouse or somebody else around, a loved one, if I feel that sense of connection to that person, and I realize how much that person values me, and I realize the relationship that I have, and the care and concern that we have for each other, then what happens? I am automatically in a state of joy. It's almost impossible to not be joyous when you feel true connection. And I think this is what the Torah is teaching us. Simcha is so important. If you want to sustain the growth of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, you can't just do mitzvot. You have to do them with simcha. You have to be excited about the mitzvah. Because we know that if we do a mitzvah with excitement, the Arizal HaKadosh, the great Kabbalah, said the way he became what he was is not because he did mitzvahs better than the next person, but he was able to infuse more simcha into it. What does it mean, more simcha? I believe it means more connection. If we're able to be truly connected to our purpose in life and to our mission, we're able to appreciate the moment where we are right now, sitting here under the sukkah, not put our value in external things that could be gone tomorrow, but rather put our value in our true essence, our true purpose, our true mission in life. And I think if we're able to do that, we're able to be in a tremendous sense of simcha in almost every situation in life. And this year, maybe more than any other year, it's important to think about this, because this is a year when maybe families are not as together as they would otherwise be. We're hearing things in the news that are troubling, and all these different things that can bring us down on this holiday of Sukkot. But I believe if a person can really become grounded and connected to their mission, to their purpose in life, and the tremendous sense of value that they have, then it's literally impossible not to be in a state of simcha. And I think this is what the Torah is teaching us. Right after Yom Kippur, Hashem says, come out of your homes, come into my home, realize where your true protection comes from, realize where your true value comes from, and become truly connected. And if we're truly connected, then all the mitzvot that we will do throughout the year will just bring us closer and closer to Hashem. My blessing to all of you is that you'll have a meaningful holiday of Sukkot. You'll be able to be in a sense of simcha and true connection, and B'ezrat Hashem next year in Yerushalayim. Thank you.